anthropomorphologically intervening God, if existing, would have had a choice to make. A world full of pain and suffering is this, or a world full of harmony, love, and unification of all peoples and species of life without torment, and without the need for the fight-flight mechanism for survival. A world whereas the living would not suffer just for survival purposes. A world where fear and death would not encompass the lives of all living things from inception to birth and throughout an ongoing lifespan, to then reach its finality of regress to the abrupt final days of life when its last breath is taken. Why would God make aging and disease? We watch ourselves and our loved ones slowly disintegrate and degenerate before our very eyes, mentally and physically, as the internal living cellular structure from within depletes and mutates into diseases, to eventually bring on the onslaught of immense disparity, to wait to die. To me, as a logical freethinker, if I were this God, and I had made this world as is, I could see myself wasting a tremendous amount of inordinate time planning and designing to make all of this suffering just for the fun of it. Why not? The earth would be a plaything, my place for entertainment. After all, if I had made man in my image, I would make him just as I am too. Humanity was made completely as I had wanted him to be, malicious, sadistic, murderous, uncaring, and heartless. The mirror image of myself, the biblical God of Scripture, and of all faith-based religions of this earth. Happily, I must say that no such God exists. Among the trillions upon trillions of galaxies that are observed as seen by the human eye, we are just a grain of sand within the multitudinous sands of the cosmos. We remain unnoticed and unseen, and if we were eviscerated today, the life of humanity would not even have been known to exist. The cosmos would not even have known that we were here. God is beyond the intellectual auspices and cognitive comprehension of mankind to discern. No one of this earth knows anything at all about the purpose for our existence, who or what God is, or anything at all about the cosmos and life itself. None. I have a few questions for the religious. Why? Why would God make all living things in a way where they would have to kill and consume another life in order to survive or die? Why would an all-knowing, all-powerful God make mankind struggle to find answers and cures to disease, pain, and suffering when he could have given humanity the answers through his inspiration thousands of years ago? Why would God make mankind similarly to all other life forms of this earth with regard to reproduction, protoplasmic integrity, and bacteriological conscript? Why would God make all life in a way where it must slowly age and die from within to eventually expire in extreme agony and disdain? Why would a loving God take from us our loved ones, our friends, to leave us barren and lost in tears? This is nature's evolutionary process and the life of the living life form. A loving God would never make such a hell on earth and then suggest the existence of another hell within an ulterior dimension which could never compare to the hell we live in. All of this logically provides proof against a loving God. This is the unbearable truth, a truth that no theist could ever accept. Where have all of the trillions of functioning, living, breathing cells that once permeated our bodies, performing tasks and living within us, where have they gone? Are they in some heaven, or have they returned to the earth and this world from which they came? The religious only suggest the body at death will rise to heavenly paradise. Where are its brother and sister cells that have been expelled and eviscerated? Where are they? Religion is a force multiplier for separatism, hatred, hostility, and intolerance. Religion is divisive, not inclusive. For 400 years, Christians and Catholics in Ireland and England killed themselves and each other's children just based on what religion someone was. Christianity is responsible for the onset of anti-Semitism, hatred of the Jews, and fascism, since it promoted this hatred for thousands of years. Where do you think Hitler got his ideas about the Jewish threat? He was a Christian who said in his own autobiography, Mein Kampf, that he was doing the work of God by eliminating the Jewish threat. The Catholic Church's Bishop Manini said from the pulpit, asking for forgiveness for the rape and torture of thousands of orphan children throughout the world by priests. He apologized for the Crusades and the killing of hundreds of thousands of non-believers and Muslims, the burning and murder of the mentally ill as witch and demon possessed, the enslavement of indigenous peoples. I don't have time to list further atrocities, but the list is endless. Science did not originate from the Bible. It was believed that gods were angry when climatic disaster and plague disrupted mankind in his quest for survival. So blood sacrifices were initiated to sedate the gods by throwing newborn babies into the mouth of a volcano or slicing their throats in offering. If God made the Bible, he surely would have known about germ theory and our cousin Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon man and Homo erectus man, but nothing is said about this because the men who transcribed the lies and fallacies in it didn't know about these things. The religious stupidity concerning homosexuality is also another untruth. If God made homosexuals, and he is all-powerful, then he wanted them born as such. But in reality, homosexuality is an abnormal combination of hormonal oversaturation and cellular mutation. During the birthing process, an inappropriate fusing of genetic material is sequenced. Then a female body and male body receive the opposite hormones. The male receives an overabundance of estrogen, the female testosterone. Upon fertilization of the zygote, all babies initially are female only. A rush of an immense proportion of testosterone transforms many of them into the male gender. During this process, things can go wrong, whereas hormonal activity can become abnormally sequenced. Thus, the mutation of homosexuality. This is proof of confused evolution, deformation, and disease syndrome, not God. The Vatican of the Catholic Church brings in $170 billion per year just in the United States. 3% of that money goes to the impoverished. It's time to fight back against delusion. The more people that believe in a lie, the more the lies become believable. Free yourself now.